But a number one fact for me was always that it was an excellent source of getting new ideas, information, and experiences that I might not be well known to. And this is really important into whatever job you're going to eventually be in, in the future or after college. Really, from an analytical side, a specific professional network group, in my kind of career, in my 9 to 5. I only, normally collaborate with other analytical professionals. But, if I tried to venture outside of my professional network, maybe I'll gain some type of new experiences from meeting with sales professionals or finance professionals. Maybe they have information that might affect my job, information that I can learn from that will make me better in my career. It also raises your profile and just different professional net in circles. If you're well known, if people see you a lot in different types of events or in different types of circles, recruiters might take notice of that and kind of keep your name and put a name to the face and really keep you on a tab and kind of start to wonder what your career ambitions are. There's also kind of it builds confidence. I think I've always I always consider myself more of an introverted person. And some of that was just because I didn't try to venture outside of my comfort zone and just meet people in different circles. But, and kind of, how you get better on that is just with experience, just putting yourself out there and just repetition, repetition speaking to people just in various events or just kind of becoming a habit of it will kind of help build confidence, maybe your speaking capability, speaking in front of large groups, which a lot of people sometimes struggle with, can help out with that. And then also kind of the main topic is that it can advance your career and gain you access to job opportunities that maybe it wasn't public information, maybe the company hasn't put it onto LinkedIn or any actual job sites yet. It's a really good opportunity to maybe get job roles or opportunities that people haven't heard of yet. So really the next page on so if you decide that you want to start venturing out into new professional networks and you understand that the qualifications and the needs for it are important, kind of where do you start? Where do you try to kind of meet new people? Where do you find new professional networks? And a lot of that can come from really anything. I mean, it's always easy, to kind of start through friends, families, maybe people colleagues, in your work environment, classmates, maybe members of groups that you possibly have a hobby in. Another important fact is that it shouldn't feel like you're using the network specifically to further your career, but to actually build long-term connections. Really, when I speak to, I guess to add to that, really when I speak with the number one pet peeve is when people kind of expect some type of recommendation or kind of, to have their name dropped into a job interview. And it's kind of, you could imagine that, that doesn't work. I mean, if you don't really have any type of long-term connection with a recruiter, it just doesn't come off well if you're kind of already asking for favors in a first meeting. That's kind of why it's definitely important on when building your network, you should always basically be doing this and being proactive and not just doing it last minute when you're really looking at a specific job. Now, and then another fact is kind of, I think now more than ever, it's becoming more and more not just as important but easier to network with advancing technologies like social media. Just how easy it is now for people to create blogs and podcasts on their own, and just new apps like I see the new app Clubhouse that pops up. That's a audio only kind of TED Talk app where you can just listen to kind of new influencers talk about specific topics. It's becoming easier and easier for, I think, someone starting off in an industry to meet and network with huge influencers and trendsetters within that industry. Just really, all these online platforms are making it very easy. Um, so I think there's a lot of great ways to start and to navigate through different platforms and to meet new people. And really, once you start doing that, it's important that you remember some type of fundamentals and some kind of do's and don'ts. Really, when I try to, whether it's kind of talking through LinkedIn or a networking app or maybe in person, I mean, especially now with COVID-19, where it puts more networking opportunities obviously on virtual experiences rather than, most networking in-person events are obviously would require social distancing or have restrictions. So especially now with kind of virtual events or when I'm reaching out, I always make sure to prepare questions, maybe have some type of, with LinkedIn, if I kind of see something about who I'm reaching out to professionally, or maybe it's a recruiter, I maybe, see their page, maybe see some information about their background. It shows that, when I reach out, I kind of done my research and that I'm being proactive on how I'm asking questions. Another thing is that I actively listen. You're speaking to someone that has years of experience within the industry. You want to try to absorb as much information as possible and, kind of learn from their experiences. Just ask interesting questions on, what their pathway was like, how they got to their current roles, the strengths and weaknesses that help them out with their specific role. And another key steps is following up. I think especially now with COVID-19 and just kind of sometimes maybe the fatigue that comes with it is that really the importance of following up is lost on people, and that it's kind of harder and harder for people to regularly kind of reach out to people and try to get updates, just send quick messages, ask questions to people. I think that's becoming maybe a little more difficult with the pandemic, but it's definitely a very vital key to networking. As well as keeping, if you're going to kind of send a professional message or an email, maybe trying to keep it short and sweet, kind of knowing that, if you're speaking to someone, that's high up within the industry, maybe you wanted to, you definitely are interested and want to ask kind of questions, but, if you send them, multiple paragraphs in an email, that might give them, they might be a little busy, that might take some time out of their day. Just kind of, a short paragraph that, kind of shows your interest, shows that, you read up on their backgrounds, that you're interested in speaking, and just, some questions, and just tell them that, you're interested in speaking on kind of their background. Really, my key don'ts when it comes to just speaking to people in new networks, or when I'm in a new network and just kind of talking to people, is again kind of echoes when I talked about, these are about not just getting a job, but building long-term professional connections. So reaching out specifically for a favor in a job, I think everyone can relate to, if you were hanging out with, if you had a friend that kind of only reached out, specifically when they had favors to call in, or, had they needed something from you, you wouldn't really consider them, a dear friend or someone that, is close, because that's kind of, that's not a connection you want to have if, that's the only time that they're kind of reaching out is when they need something, and recruiters are the same way. They don't want to, for you to just reach out or when you have, when you see a job pop up on LinkedIn or Indeed.com. So just kind of being proactive, asking questions, following up, and just not just reaching out when you need a favor. Another thing with networking when it comes to creating a LinkedIn page or kind of working, with any other social media platform, it's very difficult if you have a page or maybe if you have an email that isn't user friendly. So, and I see a lot of this on LinkedIn, sometimes when I go around is that some people will make pretty it allows you to make, you can make content, you can make posts similar to other social media feeds. And with LinkedIn, it can be bad because people will sometimes, make um, pretty wild comments that, shouldn't be in a professional environment. And, very similar to, if you see something on Facebook or other social media feeds, it's not, really recruiters will check your LinkedIn page and, kind of want to check out your background, and they'll notice if you are making, posts that shouldn't be within a professional setting. And, that could possibly affect not just whether you get a job or if you're considered for a position, but just whether they want to have a long-term professional connection regardless. So, making sure to question, if you're going to be on LinkedIn or professional sites and you're going to, if you want to reach out to people and make content, be very mindful on, what you're saying and just how you're conducting yourself professionally. Another thing is being afraid to come off as unexperienced. And what I mean by that is kind of when you ask questions. I think sometimes people, when they're speaking to someone with a lot of experience in the industry, they don't want to come off poorly or inexperienced or act like they're asking dumb questions. But, it's normally the person will know that you're new to the industry and you're just wanting to gain experience and hear from someone with more experience. And, you just ask kind of beginner questions on, how the person started in the industry, how they got to where they are. And, you definitely shouldn't be afraid to, ask any questions that you might perceive as unexperienced. So really, when I look at top networking sites, kind of this echoes what I said before on really networking websites and kind of brand awareness through kind of social media or creating blogs or podcasts or any creative projects such as that is definitely more important now than ever, just because of COVID-19 that has created limitations for, actual professional meeting face to face professionally, or doing job interviews face to face, or just meeting a lot of networks in a professional setting face to face. So, really, networking sites opportunities that there are. Top one is LinkedIn. It's obviously still the world's largest networking platform. Allows you to check out different job opportunities, create content. You can see news articles, you can see publications from other people, you can connect with people outside of your professional network, and you can, join groups. Now, other kind of other opportunities are, I'll see a lot through Eventbrite and Facebook events and Instagram as well. And I think the one positive with more virtual events now with COVID-19 compared to before is that within a face-to-face environment, you can only, meet people within kind of a local setting, people within the DFW Metroplex or just people, locally. With virtual content, you can possibly, see speakers or connect professionally with people across the globe. I know with Eventbrite and kind of Facebook events, with professional networking events or kind of professional content, whether it's kind of like TED Talks or webinars, those have definitely been increasing during COVID-19. And, I've checked out certain professional feeds where, I can see people speaking across the globe. I can, go online and see live a speaker from a totally different country kind of speaking on, like financial planning or analysis or political topics or business topics, whatever industry you're interested in. It's definitely more and more kind of worldwide now. And really, outside of building kind of a professional network on kind of reaching through virtual opportunities, is that there are local specific organizations within the DFW area. Now, this some of these organizations have definitely been impacted by COVID-19, but they still have really virtual opportunities as far as being able to reach out, meet new people, kind of volunteer, things like that. And from really my experience, volunteering and volunteer organizations is a great way to meet new people, because a lot of these DFW based volunteer organizations have kind of young professional groups attached to them. And then also, when you see some of these nonprofits and these volunteer opportunities, the the board of representatives that represent these organizations can be very influential and huge name brands within industries that you're interested in. So these are volunteering and then kind of being around kind of other young professionals, and then being part of an organization that has a board of directors that are in an industry that you're interested in, are very important for joining new professional networks. Now, I kind of included some DFW based organizations. Some very large ones that I'm a part of is North Texas Food Bank, the SPCA of Texas, the Dallas CASA, and the Dallas Junior Chamber of Commerce. Pretty much all of these have, if you want to not just volunteer, but be a part of, maybe a member of an organization, all of these organizations within the DFW area also have young professional groups attached to them. And a young professional group is sometimes really kind of the age demographics vary from a lot of them. Sometimes, it's college students, sometimes it's recently college grads within the organizations, but really it's just a small group of individuals that like to volunteer, fundraise, help out with the organization, but they also kind of do professional and social projects to really advance all of their careers. Really, a lot of the professional networks that I've been a part of and kind of the opportunities that I've been able to see and witness was because of being a part of one of these DFW based organizations, as well as kind of the young professional groups attached to them. Really, I guess kind of to go into kind of examples in my life, kind of where networking possibly helped in kind of just different networks, is really when I was when I got into university in North Texas and kind of started out in college. I was an introverted kid, kind of had a hard time kind of speaking to large audiences or just kind of new people in general, and really just didn't know anyone kind of in college and didn't know how to kind of separate myself and be able to have opportunities that maybe would be well received by recruiters and by companies after I graduate from college. And for me, it's really the number one thing that I've always done in networking is that it helps out a lot by just being very clear and transparent in your communication and just being direct with people on just really what I did was just kind of send out a couple of emails to really the office that worked with my college's dean, of the College of Business with Dean Wiley, and just kind of reached out and said, I'm really new in the college and I'm wanting to really gain new experiences and connections. So I'm looking to, possibly if there's any opportunities with helping out with financial or analysis work, I would be willing to, put in some time and to help out with any projects for, in exchange, being able to have that experience, that resume builder, as well as make the connections within the College of Business. And they, it was a couple of months later, but they reached out to me and, said that there was a financial project that needed an intern for just to create just different financial projects for the College of Business. And, I helped out with that program. And not just was it a good resume builder and good experience and good way connections by itself, but it served as kind of the ledge that kind of pushed me towards new opportunities. Because, once I had that kind of face-to-face recognition with the dean of the College of Business, she then, that kind of led into a lot of new opportunities. Really, after I helped out with that, she reached out to me kind of months later, but it was to kind of be the sole finance student to attend kind of this very prestigious dinner with the CFA Institute, and then to also represent the College of Business with, I think, 3 other students. Really, I was the only undergraduate student in the team. Everyone else were kind of working in their masters, but really, on this kind of national competition, which was a very prestigious opportunity, and to be a part of that team. But all of those kind of opportunities just led from literally just me one afternoon, just saying, hey, reaching out through email and just being very direct and just saying, I'm willing to, put in a few hours here and there on volunteer work to help out. In exchange, possibly if there's any ways, if this is a good experience or a great way to make connections or to meet people within the college, I would definitely like to do that. So yeah, really on kind of just really the opportunities in my life really came from kind of that clear communication and from really just trying to be proactive on just kind of reaching out to people. And I guess just to kind of go back for while I have my screen shared, I kind of wanted to show a little bit about my kind of LinkedIn page. Let's see. Let me see if I can do my full screen. Cool. Okay. And can everyone see my LinkedIn page here? Cool. On here. So yeah, I mean, definitely, there's new apps coming out regularly during COVID-19 with just the explosion behind Clubhouse as a networking platform. But really, I still just regularly use LinkedIn as kind of just being able to kind of kind of reach out to people, maybe see someone's background that I'm connected with, maybe see who possibly has a connection with a company I'm reaching out to, maybe have that conversation. But I also use it really, I check it out daily just for, I log in. I mean, there's LinkedIn news on the right tab. I mean, it's a great way to kind of just see, within a few minutes, kind of just see just daily news that's going on. It's really just kind of quick snippets of kind of just what's happening in the business world and just different industries on kind of the daily environment. But sometimes, I can also create posts. I can show photos if I've created any cool content with my blog or podcast that I want to talk about. It's a great way to share with my network. Maybe if there's any events that I'm heading to that I can share with people, or an article that I just read, maybe through LinkedIn News that I want to share with people. It's definitely great for that. I can also go down and see other people's, what they're sharing, what they maybe they have cool opportunities that they're sharing, or maybe something they've reached a success, and maybe I'll just kind of like and comment and just, congrats, just say, quick congrats to them on whatever they've done. But other tabs is kind of, you can explore, this kind of shows my network, and, you can explore people who are connected with whoever you're connected with, kind of mutual connections. See if there's, people that, are close to your network that you just really haven't spoken to, that maybe they have any, maybe there would be a really cool long-term kind of professional connection to have. Also LinkedIn is a huge jobs platform. Sometimes there are job opportunities posted on LinkedIn that haven't been posted on other large job recruiter platforms like Indeed or Glassdoor. So, I check if I'm, job searching, or sometimes if I'm not even actively looking for a job, I might still check it out, just to give me an idea on just maybe industries or specific companies that, have stuff that it might give me kind of clarity on maybe an industry that I might have interest in, and kind of might just be kind of a note, just kind of a mark to think of. Notifications, just if I hit a job highlight or see it or graduated with COVID-19. I think it's more important now than ever just to, kind of reach out to people, make sure, say congrats, if they had any major successes on anything, and just, or send a message on just, quick catch up. I think it's kind of with COVID-19, just, when you don't have that face-to-face interaction, it's more important just to, have transparent and just collaborative communication. But yeah, and then also I think down here with specific industries that I'm a part of, you can join groups, you can check out kind of virtual live events, um, as well as pages. And yeah, it's great opportunities to really with groups, you can find industry specific groups, and some of these groups will, have highly professional, really well established professionals that, sometimes, they'll post very prestigious and lucrative opportunities that they don't share with the public. They only share it with people who are their small professional network or in one of these LinkedIn groups. So that's definitely definitely important to kind of check those opportunities out as well. But yeah, kind of with LinkedIn, I'm not actively, trying to look for a job, or just, I'm not thinking in my mind that, oh, I'm going to, establish these connections. It's just kind of, after a while, it becomes secondhand nature, just where I'll check the website just to kind of get updates on news, maybe updates on just people on my network on how they're doing, and maybe just send a few quick messages on, congrats for these things, and just really just kind of just reaching out to new professional networks. But yeah, that's really kind of the last thing I wanted to share, kind of when I navigate kind of my LinkedIn page. But did anyone have any, kind of just went through a lot. Did anyone have any questions as far as kind of the LinkedIn or professional networking, or just any just things that I guess I showed on my resume?
Mr. Mark, Mask, were you also in organizations during college, any fraternities, like professional fraternities? Or do you know
Mhm.
much about that you could share with the students?
Definitely. So yeah, with University of North Texas, I was very active in different organizations within the College of Business. I was representing the College of Business and the Student and Government Association. The College of Business had 4 or 5 College of Business representatives for the Student Government Association. But yeah, also outside of that, I was either a member or a board member or secretary or treasurer of a few different groups like the Financial Management Association, the Student Investment Group, the American Marketing Association, and the College of Business, the College of Business College Ambassadors. Definitely a lot of those were, again, great opportunities. Very it's definitely, I would say my experience, especially with the College Ambassadors, it's kind of, it can definitely be crazy on just the amount of people that, don't even look at those types of opportunities, but it's just really for, a limited, it's such a limited amount of time that, you maybe volunteer and it's just like look at what you possibly get out of these volunteer opportunities. Really, the College of Business Ambassadors, I went to an event and volunteered here and there throughout the semester. And I think of just all the professional connections and the companies that I was able to meet through that. I guess just a few examples. As a College of Business Ambassador, Ryan LLC, a major tax organization, a major accounting and tax organization located in the DFW area. They had a private suite and private venue at the University of North Texas football games. And they stated that, we want to network and, hang out with top qualifying students. We consider that and really the College of Business said, okay, we'll invite college ambassadors and then people who are very active in these young professional groups and these volunteer groups and just any University of North Texas clubs. And, so it was a very tight knit networking opportunity, but, you just think of all of the large company opportunities and just those collaborations that are possible when literally it's not massive commitments. It's not like, you have to volunteer just all day, every day. It's kind of the amount, how far a couple hours of just volunteering or just reaching out to people, how far that can go is definitely astounding sometimes.
All right, folks, anyone have any questions for Mr. Mask? All right, Grayson, thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate your time. Students, I know it's hard to see from your perspective right now, but the information he shared with you, you need to sort of think of it as a roadmap. This is the way you get ahead in whatever field you're interested in. It's how you meet the professors you're really going to enjoy studying under. It's how you meet the business professionals that you'll eventually work for. It's how you make connections that are eventually going to give you a better job. These are all things that it opens doors. It doesn't necessarily shove you through a door. You still get to pick the doors you're going to walk through, but you get more options. You open up your world to more possibilities by taking these kinds of steps. We're going to have you all create a LinkedIn account before you graduate. That'll be one of the things that you do. It gives you a head start on a lot of the kids that will be graduating from high school with you. You'll be ahead of them again. Considering some of these organizations that you can join, next year you're going to be at TCC. You are eligible for every program they have there. You can be involved in any of the things they do. You can be in student government, you can be in their theater productions, you can be on their intramural sports teams. You can do all the things that any TCC student can do. And all of that also becomes a kind of networking. But there will also be professional organizations you can join. If you're interested in engineering, there'll be groups that are interested in engineering. I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but most of us, when we hear about fraternities and sororities, we think strictly of social fraternities and sororities. You know, you get together and throw parties and stuff. There are also professional fraternity sororities that allow you to specialize in your field, and other organizations that aren't called the same thing, but young business professionals, young entrepreneurs clubs. There's all these different opportunities that you'll have. And it also gives you a chance to try out some of the things that you're not really sure about and see what they're like. Is this something you want to pursue? So this kind of getting out there and remember, Mr. Mask told us when he started here, he was an introvert when he went into all this. And that means he didn't like to get in front of people. He didn't like to talk to everybody. And he just sat here and talked to you for 45 minutes nonstop and just as if it was as natural as the day is long. So this is a way for you to develop yourself and build your own personal skills and build those resumes that are going to help you get into the schools you want to get into and eventually help you get into the careers you want to have. So, Mr. Mask, I greatly appreciate your time today. Thank you for sharing with us and the students. And we'll welcome you back next week to speak to the other class. But thank you so much for your time today. Folks, if we could give him a little round of applause, please. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you everyone for having me on. And yeah, it was definitely, again, just echoing the importance of networking and opening those new doors. But yeah, I wanted to thank everyone.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Colehep, we'll turn it back over to you for your class. And Mr. Mask, thank you, and we'll see you again next week.
Definitely. Thank you.